Hello, hi guys. Good morning, everyone. Hello, all. Am I audible? Good morning, Rajesh. Hi. All right, guys. So I hope my voice is reaching to all and my screen is visible. Fine. So today we'll start with the triggers. We'll see what is triggers and all. Okay. So schedule-based trigger we have seen in our last class, and apart from that, we are having some other triggers also. What is the triggers? We'll see. So what is the main use of triggers? I'll tell you in a very simple word. See, whenever we want the pipelines, ADF pipelines. Okay, so very simple words of PDF. I'm telling you triggers. Okay, whenever we want our ADF pipelines, okay, run by itself. Whenever we want our ADF pipeline to run by itself without any human intervention, without any human intervention, okay, then we'll use triggers. Then we'll use a okay. Now we are having different types of triggers. Of course, we are having schedule-based trigger, tumbling windows-based trigger, event-based trigger, and all that stuff. Okay. So when can we pick schedule-based trigger, tumbling windows-based trigger, and event-based trigger? Tumbling windows-based trigger is what? See, schedule trigger is what? When we want to run the pipeline at a particular date and time at a particular frequency recurrence, then we'll use schedule-based trigger. And when we use tumbling window-based trigger, see what it is one-on-one relationship trigger. Okay, means we can assign this trigger to only one pipeline. Okay, that's what I'm saying. It is one-on-one relationship trigger. We cannot allocate multiple pipelines to tumbling windows-based trigger. Okay, we can, if we are having one tumbling windows-based trigger, then we can set only to one pipeline, one-on-one or one-to-one. Okay, we can allocate only one pipeline at a time for tumbling windows based trigger. There are creation properties in tumbling windows based trigger. We can use this tumbling windows based trigger when we want to process huge volume of files or small volume of the small volume of files. Okay, we want to process those sequentially based upon the requirement we are trying to process those. Then these cases we use the tumbling windows based trigger. So when we want to process all the files in the pipelines basically in a sequential order, okay, and which are in huge volume, then we'll go for the tumbling windows based trigger. Okay, scheduled, okay, we can use scheduled. Okay, this tumbling windows based trigger at least for 5 minutes. We can schedule this tumbling windows based trigger at least for 5 minutes. But if you compare the schedule based trigger, that we can even set up for 1 minute also, every 1 minute also possible there. But here for tumbling windows based trigger, minimum 5 minutes it should be. Okay, more than 5 minutes, but not less than 5 minutes. Okay, least at least 5 minutes we should go for, not less than that. Okay, tumbling windows based trigger TWBT can depend on a maximum of 5 or other triggers. Okay, you can depend on 5 or other triggers. Okay, implementation steps of tumbling windows based trigger. How we can implement this tumbling windows based trigger? This is what I'm showing here. Okay, a very small pipeline we are creating here. Okay, storage account ADF. Okay, then link services as usual. Then we are getting one metadata. Okay, okay, and then okay, manage studios. Then we are creating here tumbling windows based trigger. We are creating here tumbling windows based trigger. Okay, fine. So what we'll do this lab. Very simple only. We'll start with this lab. Okay, is that clear, guys? All good. So I'll just create a storage account. I'll say here 13 31. Okay, source essay. Fine. Rest of the values I'm keeping it to default. Go to home and create a container here, and then we'll upload some files inside the container. Okay. Okay. Some two files I'm uploading here. Now next we'll go for ADF. Okay. We'll create an ADF. Okay. Okay. Second step I'm going with ADF creation only, then launch ADF, then we'll go for the dataset and link service. Okay. This will be the link service. Link services plus new. Click on blog. Okay, we'll give this name. Okay. Then we'll create a data set as well. Okay. Okay. I'm considering this container folder. Done. Then what we'll do, we'll go for the pipeline and we'll get the metadata activity. Okay. Get metadata of files. Fine. We will go here, say new pipeline. It will be pipeline one. I'll say here get metadata. Just simple one control I'm using. I'm making it simple. Our intention is here to learn tumbling Windows based trigger, not the pipeline controls. Okay, and settings tab, give this a data set what we have created. Done. For field list plus new, and in the choose in the box choose child items publisher. Child items publish all and publish. Now after I do the publish, I will not go for debug. I'll not go for debug. Instead of that, I want the pipeline should run by itself with the help of tumbling Windows based trigger. Okay. So what we'll do here, go to the manage, then click on triggers, and then design here a new trigger. Okay. My tumbling Windows based trigger. Any name you can give, your choice. So let the publishing gets completed here. Good. Now what I'll do, manually, I'm not running the pipeline. I'll go here to manage. I'll click on triggers. I'll say here plus new. I'll give this name, my tumbling windows based trigger. And here in type, I'll say a tumbling window. Last time we have choose this one. Now we are choosing this one. That is what I have mentioned in the material also. See? Okay. Then what we'll say here, type, click on the box and choose tumbling window. This one, tumbling window. Okay. Start date. Any date you can set, date and time. I'll say here 17th February. I'll say here 7:52. I'm just giving some 2 minutes later time. Okay, 52 is also sufficient, I believe. Okay, fine. Run for every 5 minutes. Okay, you cannot give less than 5. So you're getting an error. That is what I have mentioned here in the material also. Tumbling Windows based trigger needs a, okay, minimum 5 minutes of recurrence time, not less than that. Okay. Then you can set anything, 5 minutes, 5 hours, 4 hours, whatever it is. Check the box, start trigger on creation, and then say okay. Done. Then come to pipeline, add trigger. Come to the pipeline, add trigger. You already did. This is our trigger. Select that one. Say this is what we have decided. Okay. Okay. And then do the publish. Then we will do the publish here. Once we do the publish, what will happen here? At 7:52, it will, this trigger will run our pipeline. This trigger will run our pipeline sharp at 7:52, whatever the time we have defined. Okay. Then publish all and publish. That's it. Up to publish. Once publish is done, we have to wait until 7:52 because we have set up the start time 7:52. Now it is 7:51. 7:52, if you come here to monitor and you can see here the trigger has been started and ran the pipeline. Okay. Started now only. Pipeline one only, right? Yeah. See, it has run the pipeline already, but why it is running this much time? It ran the pipeline already before the time. The moment we have scheduled, pipeline one only, right? Our pipeline name. So if I come here on pipeline one, it ran the pipeline many times actually. If I say here, pipeline one, see, pipeline one is succeeded. 17th February. This is month, this is date, this is year, 7:52. 7 a.m. Okay, it has run the pipeline many times actually. It will keep on running. It will keep on running here and it will keep charging. Okay, which trigger runs this one? If you come here, okay, see, my tumbling Windows based trigger has a ran this one, and it is showing one. One means what? It is associated to one pipeline. One means it is associated to one pipeline. If you come here, click on this, it will show you that pipeline name and pipeline ID. Okay, guys, is that clear? This is what about the tumbling Windows based trigger. Okay, it will keep on running continuously. Okay, why? Because we have set up the recurrence every 5 minutes. Okay, yeah, same. See, 17th February only. Okay, so we have set it for 7:52, but it started running the pipeline at 7:51 only. The pipeline is not having much things. That's why no idea, Rajesh. There is some problem with Azure, I believe. What you have asked is 100% correct. Okay, but it is running multiple times. You have to raise a ticket with Microsoft for this one. Okay, this is what how it is. Okay, if I go to author, this pipeline is running continuously. Okay, next one more trigger we are having, and that one is event based trigger. That one is a event based trigger. Okay, what is that? I'll show. Okay, storage and event based trigger. See, storage or event based trigger. What it is? See, when the pipeline comes to when the file comes to our source, we don't know. See, our source storage account is having files, right? Our source storage account are having files, correct? From there, our ADF pipelines are picking the files, right? From there, our ADF pipelines are picking or fetching the files, correct? Now, we don't know when the file will come in our source system. Okay. Okay, I'll send it, Jashwant. Fine. So we don't know when the file will come in our source system. Okay. Sometimes the client is putting the file morning 5 a.m. Sometimes it is putting the file at 2 p.m. Sometimes it is putting the file at 7 p.m. Sometimes it is putting the file at 11 p.m. in the night. We don't know. Sometimes in the midnight, okay, 1 a.m. We don't know when the file will come in our source system. And the client is saying that the moment file comes in the source system, load it into the destination using ADF pipeline. So what we'll do, when we don't know when the file will come or will land it into our storage account, maybe every day 2 p.m. as per UTC time zone, and the customer is also putting the file in blob storage account, and at the same time we are running our pipeline, or we are not sure what time the customer is going to put the file in blob storage account. And using the event based trigger, we can pick the file and process them through pipeline and load it into the target. So when we don't know when the file will come the source system, and customer is expecting that the moment file get loaded or landed into the source storage account, it should be loaded into the destination. So see, if the file is getting loaded at 2 a.m. in the midnight, okay, in the midnight, or 5 a.m. in the early morning. So in that case, what we'll do? Okay, In that case, what we'll do, we will, okay, we will run the pipeline automatically when the file landed to the storage account. When the file landed to the storage account. This is what about the event-based trigger. Okay, fine. So how we can implement this one? Same storage account. I'll take the same one only. I'll keep this ADF itself only. I'm creating the pipeline. Same get metadata activity control. Give this name. Okay, setting all these things I use here. Okay, you should not do debug here. Now I'll click on manage and I'll design the event based trigger. So I'll come here. I'll come here. Triggers. I'll say a new trigger. Okay, but I believe I'll stop this one. This trigger, I will stop it. I'll stop this trigger or else continuously it will keep on running the pipeline. Okay, I'm just stopping the trigger here or else you can delete this trigger also. Okay, I'm just now, I'm stopping the tumbling windows based trigger. Okay, publishing is completed. Okay, I'll say here delete also. If you want, you can delete this trigger as well. So right now it is stopped. I'll better delete this one. Okay, say publish all and publish. What I'll do, I'll now create a new trigger that is an event-based trigger. Okay, guys, following me or not? Very simple. Remember all these different types of triggers and which trigger we'll use in what circumstances. Okay, so this is the same steps, step 1, step 2, step 3. I'm not touching this as it is. I'll just show you from here. Is that clear? Okay, good. So I'll say here my event based trigger. Okay, I'll come here. I'll close this. I'll say a new. I'll say here my event based trigger. I'll say here now storage event. Okay, the trigger is what type is what storage event. Okay, if you see here, what is the trigger name? Storage or event based trigger. Storage or event based trigger. That is what it is. Storage event based trigger. Okay. Then I'll say here my event based trigger. I think I have given this name only. That's correct. Storage account name type storage events. I have selected that one. Then subscription that is there already. Here I'll select this one. Now storage account. In which storage account the file is getting landed. Okay. So storage account, all containers inside the storage accounts. If you say here, I'll say this storage account and you want to run the pipeline in whichever container the file comes in or in one particular container. Getting my point? In storage account, we can have multiple containers, nah? Right? So we have created only one container here. See, we have created only one container here. That is source container. Right? Source container. Like this, you are having one more container like my container. One more, you are having India container. So here, you are targeting one particular container here or you want all containers in whichever container the files landed, you want this pipeline to run the, you want this trigger to run the pipeline. You want this trigger to run the pipeline. So what is your plan? I'll say here all containers. That is what I am mentioning. Mentioning here all containers. Okay, fine. Then after that, 1 minute, guys. After I mention here all containers, come down. Okay, if you see here, next step is what is the file type is expected. Okay, so I'll just say here block path ends with .csv. I'll say here block path ends with .csv. Okay, CSV file, whenever the CSV file is landed. If particularly we want to pick the CSV files only, then we can mention that one here. For even check the box blob is created here. Blob is created. Blob is what? A file. Okay, any file, like it will consider as file only. Any file it will take it as blob only. Okay, so this one compulsory you have to check. Means when the file is placed. Okay, check the box start trigger on creation. Okay, you come down, start trigger on creation, and then say okay. Okay, then say here okay. Okay, register Azure Event Grid resource provider to your subscription before creating an event trigger. So it is saying that in this subscription, Azure Event Grid is not registered. So what you have to do for this error, Azure Event Grid. So come to home, come to subscription. Okay, come to subscription, come to resource provider. Say here event grid. See, Microsoft Event Grid is not registered. Okay, select this one, say registered here. Okay, just hold on, let it get registered here. It started registering. Just hold on. Patiently wait for some time, guys, until it get registered. Else this error will not go. Okay. Okay, see it got registered now successfully. I'll say here okay. Done. Event is registered. Now it will allow us. I'll say here now pipeline. I'll say here add trigger, new edit. This is the trigger we have designed. Okay. This is what the trigger we have. Okay. It is asking compulsory do the publish or else the trigger will not run the pipeline. Then the publishing gets completed here. Now, after this publishing is completed, it will not run the pipeline. This trigger will not run the pipeline. If you wait for 10 hours also, it will not run the pipeline. Because the scenario, the condition for this trigger to run the pipeline is completely different than previous triggers, right? The condition to run the pipeline for this trigger is completely different as compared to previous triggers. What is the condition here? The condition is whenever the file landed into our storage account, then only run the pipeline. Then only run the pipeline. Else, no. If the file is not landed for 1 month, not for 1 day, for 1 month, then this trigger will not run the pipeline. Will not run the pipeline. If the file is landing for every 1 minute, example, every 1 minute, then it will run the pipeline for every 1 minute. If the file is not landed for 6 months, then it will not run the pipeline for 6 months. That is what the concept here. So now if I go to monitor here, and if I say here pipeline one, okay, so this is the old one. This is the old one. Okay. Tumbling Windows First Ticket has done this pipeline. So see, when it ran last time, on 7:56 a.m. Now it is what? 8:08. So it ran almost 10 minutes back, 12 minutes back. It ran last time this pipeline ran 12 minutes back. That is okay, event-based trigger. Oh, sorry, that is a tumbling Windows based trigger. Run this one. Now, event based trigger will not run the pipeline. See, 100 times if you refresh it, you will find the latest run, the last run is this one only. Okay, it started at 7:66, 59 seconds. It's completed at 7:57, 2 a.m. So it has run for 4 seconds. Okay, my tumbling Windows based trigger. This is what basically the trigger name which has ran the pipeline one. Status is succeeded. All the information that you can see here. See, is the trigger event based trigger running the pipeline? No, it is not running the pipeline. If you refresh 100 times also, it will not run the pipeline. Why? Because the condition is run only if the file landed. If the file landed into the storage account. So what I'll do now, I'll keep one file now. I'll land one file inside the storage account. Now see the magic. The moment I land the file, I upload the file here inside the storage account. This pipeline will run. Who will run this pipeline? Our event-based trigger will run. Okay. So I'll come to browse services. I click on this container. I'll say here upload. Okay, I'll upload one file. Let us say here this one. Upload. Done. Now pipeline should run. Pipeline should run here. Okay. See, amazing, amazing. See, 8:10. Just now the pipeline ran. See the time here. See my cursor, 8:10. Just now the pipeline ran 8:10. It ran for 5 seconds with my event-based trigger. My event-based trigger. This time the trigger has this trigger has run the pipeline. This time this trigger has ran the pipeline. Okay, this is the run ID and all. The most important information that we are seeing here in the page. Now, if you wait for 10 days also, it will not run the pipeline now. If you wait for 10 days also, it will not run the pipeline. Why? Because no, the condition is what? If the file lands in source, then only run it, or else no. Getting guys, this is what a event-based trigger. Am I clear? Am I clear or not to all? Okay, that is what I'm doing in step 5. See, come to pipeline, add a trigger. This is what we have done. Now here we are putting one file and we are seeing that the file has been, okay, landed into our source storage account, and then the trigger has done by itself. All right. Next concept we are having key vault. Next concept we are having is what? Azure key vault. Okay. Why others are not responding me? Am I not audible to others? Only Rajesh is responding me, guys. At least say something. Yes, no. I feel happy if you respond me. No? Not required. Thank you, Nayak. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Sunaya. All right. So next point, next concept we are having is what? Azure Key Vault. Azure Key Vault is the next concept we are having. Okay, see what is Azure Key Vault, why we use Azure Key Vault and all. Guys, just give me 1 minute, I'll come back. Just 1 minute, okay? All right, thank you guys. So here we are saying Azure Key Vault. What is Azure Key Vault? It's one of the services in Azure Cloud Computing. And what we use this service for, we, we use this service to store the secrets, keys, certificates of our databases, SQL server, or file share server, websites kind of. So this kind of things which is confidential, and whenever we need to log into this kind of resources, we need the user ID and passwords. That passwords we can save here in the Azure Key Vault. So how to integrate this Azure Key Vault with our ADF pipelines is what this concept it is about. Okay, how we can integrate the Key Vault with ADF pipelines, that is what this concept. So here I'm explaining what is Key Vault and why we use Key Vault. Next we are seeing here why we use Key Vault. Okay, why we use Key Vault, this I'm explaining here. Okay, so basically see, centralizing storage of application secrets in Azure Key Vault allows us to control their distribution. Key Vault greatly reduces the chances that secrets may be accidentally leaked. Secrets are nothing but passwords, guys. Secrets are nothing but passwords. So instead of passing the password directly, what we'll do, we'll store the password in the Key Vault and we'll pass the Key Vault details so that the password is completely confidential. Okay, and openly passing the password and openly telling the password to anyone is very dangerous, right? So now we'll see how we can integrate our Key Vault with our ADF, with our Azure Data Factory, that we are going to see. Okay, so what I'm saying here, when an application developers use Key Vault, they no longer need to store security information in their application. Not having to store security information in application eliminates the need to make this information part of the code. For example, an application may need to connect to a database. Instead of storing the connection string in the app's code, we can store it securely in the Key Vault. If I put it in a very simple words, guys, I'm telling you, whenever we want to store the passwords, password is nothing but secrets, keys or certificates, then we can store it in the Key Vault. And instead of passing the password openly in ADF pipelines, we are integrating our pipelines with the Key Vault. If you remember in our previous demos, in 2 days back, whenever we are connecting to the database, we are openly passing the username and password in our ADF pipelines, right? But this time, when we use Key Vault, we don't even pass anything about the password, anything about the details, confidential details. Simply will integrate our Key Vault automatically. Our ADF pipelines will read the information from the Key Vault, what we have integrated with the pipelines. Okay, fine. Our applications can securely access the information they need by using URIs. These URIs allows the applications to retrieve specific version of secrets. There is no need to write custom code to protect any of the secrets information stored in the key vault. For further information, you can refer this article guys. I'll show you here how we can integrate the key vault with the ADF pipelines. Okay. So first thing, it is asking to create a key vault. Okay. Search for the key vault in Azure portal. Let us see how much big this demo is. Okay, this is all theoretical only. This is all theoretical information only. Okay, this is not practical. Okay, very little one only. We can do this demo. Okay, some few steps only here. Okay, so in first step, it is asking us to create the key vault here. Okay, so what I'll do, I will come here. Okay, I'll come to home. I'll search here for key vault plus new, and then we will give the key vault name here. I'll say here Naresh KV. Okay, 1321. Any name you can give to your key vault. Okay, so subscription name, resource group name, key vault name, region East US, pricing tier standard. All these things I'm leaving it to default. Okay, I'll go ahead and I will create the key vault here. Okay, soft delete is enabled for the key vault. Means soft delete is what I think we have read this in the previous classes, right? If accidentally you have deleted anything, accidentally you have deleted anything, or purposely also you have deleted anything, then you can get it back in a defined period of time. That is 90 days it is kept. Okay, maximum 90 days is there. If you want, you can change it to 45 days, your wish, but 7 to 90 days is the range here. If you want, you can keep it to 45 days also, your choice. Okay, fine. Then purge protection, I'm making it as disable. Okay, allows the key vault and objects to be purged during the retention period. Okay, I'm just keeping it as disable only. Okay, and then after that, click on next. Permissions model vault access policies. I'm saying here vault access policies means what? If anyone wants to have the access to the key vault, then first they should be onboarded to our Microsoft Entra ID. Then they have to be provided an exclusive access. Then only they can see our key vault. Okay, fine. Secrets inside the key vault. I wanted to set it for all the networks. That is fine. Okay. Then next year, pass on the tags accordingly as per project requirement. This comes every time, guys. This comes every time. This is optional also. The importance of tags and all I have told in the very beginning classes. Then say here review plus create and then click on create. Let the validation gets completed. Hold on. Then click on create here. Okay. Then we'll go for step two. What it is saying in step two, create a database server, and make the connection string accordingly to place it in Azure keyboard as shown below. Okay, fine. So why it is got stuck here? It is doing the validation, but how much long it will take? Okay, fine. I'll click on create. The vault is getting created here. Okay, fine. The vault is ready. Next, what it is asking us to create an SQL database and SQL database server. So that we have created many times, guys. SQL server, SQL database in cloud, we have created many times. If you are practicing, you can easily catch up. I'll say here Naresh TB. I'll create one server. I'll say here SQL server in Azure. Okay. I'll set myself this user whom you are making admin. Ensure that this user should be in your Azure Microsoft Entra ID that you have to keep in mind. Okay. Okay. I'm passing this password. Say okay. Okay. I'll just go with the development only because unnecessarily I don't want to consume lot of memory and all that stuff here. I'll just go with the basic only. Okay. These all things we have done in the previous classes, guys, right? Correct or not? I'll make it as public endpoint. I'll say allow me to access this database in the cloud and my other services also in cloud computing. Okay. And we are creating this one as what? An empty database. Okay. I'm taking it as none. Then go ahead and create the SQL DB and SQL DB server. Okay. So let it get deployed, guys. Let it get deployed. Okay. So it is still in progress. The deployment is what it is saying the next step. Okay. It is saying that after this is done, standard connection string we have to prepare. This is what the syntax we have to follow. And this is the example I have given. Okay. Data source, TCP, SQL server in Azure. Okay. Whatever the name that you have to give, your database name, whatever you have given. User ID is Gareth. Okay. Myself only. And password, this one I have given, whatever the password. Same password I have given here. Okay, all this stuff. So what I'll do here, I'll take this one only. I'll put it in a notepad. I'll make the changes accordingly. Okay. Done. This is completed. What is our database name? Naresh DB. Database name is what? Naresh DB. So what I'll do here, I'll just come here, SQL Server in Azure. What is the name of our server? SQL Server in Azure 1121. Right? So I'll just come here. I'll make the changes here. 1121. Okay. And then initial catalog. What is the initial catalog we are having? Okay, initial catalog is a Naresh DB, just Naresh DB. That's it. So remove all this. This is our database name. User ID this one. Password same thing. Okay, encryption to connection time of 30. Okay, ready. The connection string is ready. Okay, so I'll take this connection string. Okay, I'll come here and I will paste it. Okay, fine. Just ensuring fine. All is good. Now, what we'll do, we'll paste this one in our what we see key vault. Go inside the key vault, secrets plus generate and import name. Give here SQL connection string. Okay, so come here to your key vault, secrets, generate and import. Okay, name here give it as what? Generate connection string, SQL connection string. Giving name as what? SQL connection string. For secret value, pass the complete connection that we have created above and finally click on create. So remove this one and then pass this one. Okay, pass this connection string. For secret value, pass the complete connection that we have created above. Finally click on create. Okay, I'm clicking on create. Then SQL connection string. Now this string carries all the information. This connection string carries all the information like database name, database connection, username, database password, all that stuff, everything is kept here inside this connection string. Now, what we'll do, I'll come here to my ADF and instead of passing anything here openly, what I'll do, I'll get an ADF. I'll go to the key vault, access policies, plus create. I'll first create an ADF here. So if you see here, I think we are already having an ADF data factory. Okay, I'll create a new one. I'll get a new data factory with a name called 1335. Okay, I'm creating a new ADF 1335 Naresh ADF. Okay, ADF will get created quickly. I'm creating an ADF now. Okay, the name I have given as what 1335. Okay, then what we'll do, we'll go to the key vault access policies left side. So come to the key vault here, go to access policies left side, plus create, and here we have to click on configure from a template box and choose the key. Click on, say here, choose key and certificate management. Okay, choose key and secret management. This one, choose here key and secret management. Click select for all keys permissions, secrets permission, certificate permissions. Okay, keys permission, secrets permission, and certificate permission. These are all the access you are giving. These are all the access that you are giving, okay, to the connection string, to the SQL connection string, what we have prepared. Okay, get, list, update, create, import, delete, all these different types of accesses you are giving. Okay, next, click on next here. Then in search type, one box type Naresh ADF 1911. So whatever the ADF you have created, what ADF we have created? We have created 1335 Naresh ADF. So we'll say here 1335 Naresh ADF. See, we got it. We got this ADF. Select this one. Say here next, and then it is optional. We are not selecting anything. I'm giving access. Access for means I'm giving access to the ADF. Okay, to access my key vault, and the connection string is stored inside the key vault. Okay, fine. Then click on next, next, and click on create. Done. Next is what we are having. Come to ADF, launch the ADF Studios, manage link services plus new. Okay, just hold on. See, we have given the access to ADF 1335 Naresh ADF. This is what ADF that we have created. Now launch the studios, ADF Studios. Go to manage here, then create a link services. Little tricky, guys. Practice is needed. And now, what is this one? This time SQL. Okay. Click on Azure SQL database. Continue. Give this name for the link service here. Okay. I'll say here SQL. My source is SQL. Na? I want to connect my data factory to the SQL database and database server via SQL connection string. I'm giving this name. Fine. Now here, what we are doing, see, click on Azure Key Vault. What I'm saying here, click on this Azure Key Vault. Then click on AKB link service box. This one. And then say here plus new. Okay. What I'm doing here in link service, I'm creating one more link service. In link service, I'm creating one more link service. Next, I'll say here ls key vault. Okay, click on enter manually radio button. This one, enter manually radio button. For base URL, pass vault URI value. For base URL, pass your vault URI value. From where you can get the vault URI value? From your key vault. Come here, come inside the key vault. This vault URI value will get only after the key vault gets created. Only after the key vault gets created. Click on copy, come here and paste it. Fine, that is what I am saying here. Okay, enter manually, and for base URL pass a vault URL value. This will get in key vault overview. Okay, then test connection create. Say here test connection. It should be successful. And then click on create. This is done. Refresh the secret name carefully. This is the secret name. Refresh it carefully. Okay, select SQL connection. See here what I am doing. I am selecting SQL connection. I am not, if you remember in our last times, what we have done, we have set connection string here, and then we have manually passed the database name, right? Username, password, and all that stuff. But here now, everything is hidden. Everything is hidden. Database name also hidden. Full confidential. Okay. SQL connection string. This connection string is carrying all the information. Okay. Then select SQL connection string, create, publish all, and publish. This is all done. Then say here create, publish all, and then do the publish. This is what two databases we have, two link services we have created. Two link services we have created here, right? One link service is for Key Vault and other link service is for our SQL database. Okay, fine. And then you can do the debug. If you notice here, two link services we have created. That is what I have told. First is this one, and the other one is this one. This link service we have created for Key Vault. This we have created for SQL database. Okay. If we click on a ls SQL Key Vault, then in the right side window open, we can see two options, connection string and Azure Key Vault. And if we click on connection string and select the radio button from Azure subscription server name, we must pass database name we have to pass, and authentication type we can choose any one of the options. Okay, whatever we want we can choose. If we go here to ls SQL Key Vault, then here the same thing what we are passing here in ls Key Vault, connection string and Azure Key Vault. These two. Connection string option we have used in our previous classes many times. Directly, all things you have to pass: server name, database name, username, password, and all. Key Vault when you choose, then you are passing here only the connection string, and this connection string is carrying all the information. That is what I'm trying to say here. The main difference between these two options, connection string and Azure Key Vault. Okay. If we click on connection string and select the radio button from Azure subscription, then we have to pass what? Everything manually. Server name, database name, authentication type, choose any one options like a SQL authentication or system assign and manage identity. Okay, fine. This is what how it is, guys. That's it. So this is what our Key Vault has been integrated with our ADF pipelines. With our ADF pipelines. Here everything is confidential. See, this is the Key Vault IDF name. This is the object ID, and this is the access. Obviously, we have logged in with the global administrator access, so we are having highest privileges accesses. Okay, fine. If we click on this connection string, what it is showing, see, when we click on connection string, and then here we have to select the read button from Azure subscription. Okay, from Azure subscription, and see here we have to select everything manually. Subscription name open, server name open, database name open. Okay, all these things are openly passed here. That is very dangerous, not confidential. Whereas in Azure Key Vault here, just SQL connection string. This string is carrying all the details here, all the details here. That is what it is, guys. Okay, this is how we are integrating the Key Vault with our ADF pipelines. Once it is done, then as usual, you can go ahead, you can create the data set, what you want. What is this? Okay, I click on save. Okay, data set, what you want, you can create the data sets, you can create the pipelines, and this time whatever continue you want, you can do it, like getting the data loaded into the SQL tables and all that stuff what we have done yesterday. As usual, you can do all the activities. Fine, that's it, guys. This is what about the Key Vault integration with the ADF pipeline. This is all theoretical part. This is all theory. Okay, read these theoretical parts here, guys. Okay, and what is GitHub and how we can integrate ADF with GitHub, this I'll show in tomorrow's class. Okay, tomorrow we are not having class. We'll connect again on Monday. Okay, we'll connect again on Monday. Okay, for Monday, we'll start what is GitHub and how to integrate GitHub with our ADF pipelines that I'll show. Yashwant, give me your mail ID. I'll share the details with you. And Yashwant Babu, give me your mail ID. Okay, so this will start on Monday's class, guys. All right, we'll take leave tomorrow. We'll connect again on Monday. All right. Is that clear? Any questions, anyone? Yes, no? What happened? Why people are so silent? Is it good? Is the class easy today? Easy to understand? See, guys, practice is needed. I'm telling you, okay. I'm telling you, practice is must. Without practice, it's of no use. I'm telling. See, I'll tell you, okay, listening 10 times is much better. Sorry, doing 2 times. Okay, doing Two times practice is much better than listening 10 times. Please understand this. Until you put your hands, you are not going to get that level of confidence, I'm telling you. So please practice. Every step is there. All recordings are available here for you. Same labs, whatever I am doing, you can do the same labs here. Is that clear? Yashwant, you there or not? Yeah, Nayak, yes, you can say like that also. So what happens here? Your database team will not want you, your database team not want you to see the database name, database password openly to know and all. What they will do, they will create a connection string and they will ask you to get connected to the database and database server with the connection string instead of the passwords and all that stuff. Okay, it's a kind of security that we are giving it to our database servers, data inside the tables and all that stuff. Here, Nayak, I think Yashwant left the class. Yashwant Babu, why he's not responding, yaar? And Yashwant, you there in the class? Arey yaar. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll connect again on Monday. Okay. We'll see GitHub, how we can integrate GitHub with JDF pipelines, what is GitHub platform, and all that stuff. Okay. Bye, guys. Bye, everyone. Take care. Have a nice day ahead. Have a nice weekend.